Democratic Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is facing more backlash after she doubled down on her comments comparing detention centers at the southern border with Mexico to concentration camps. Now, Rabbi Abraham Cooper has written an op-ed calling her comments absurd and insulting. Rabbi Cooper joins me now, and he is Associate Dean of the Simon Wiesenthal Center. So good to see you again and to have you on the program. In your op-ed, you call it also absurd, but it's more than that. You give a definition of what it means, concentration camp, and you give a definition of why this is not that.
Well, you know, I've invited the Congresswoman to come to our Museum of Tolerance if we're talking about someone who doesn't know the basics of World War II. But as an elected Congresswoman, given a chance to step back from an inappropriate statement and doubling down and saying a bunch of crazy Republican, no, this is about fundamentals. It's about insulting the victims of the Nazi Holocaust, 6 million Jews and many others, the survivors who are still around. And this is not to demean the problems we're having at the southern border, the humanitarian problems, what's going on with separated families, people dying. We get all of that. But she's been put in office to deal with that issues and not weaponize history so she can, in this case, you know, try to make President Trump out to be a Nazi leader. It's just outrageous. And I think I speak for a lot of Americans. We've had enough of this. She and the rest of the Democrats and Republicans should figure out a way how to deal with the issue and maybe go back to History 101 to understand the difference between a genocide, when innocent men, women, children were hunted down like animals in hiding places and brought to concentration camps, tortured and killed, and illegals who come to our country, perhaps with good reason in many cases, and we have a humanitarian crisis that has to be solved. There is no intersectionality there, and it is a grotesque insult to the victims and inappropriate behavior for a person who's a congresswoman.
You know, Rabbi Cooper, I know you felt the need to respond, too, with Congresswoman Ocasio-Cortez again today, doubling down, defending her controversial remarks to TMZ. Let's watch a bit of that.
The academic definition of concentration camps are targeting a community and putting them in detention camps without a trial. And that's what the government is doing. That's what the Trump administration is doing. And it's a pretty open and closed definition and question of the dictionary.
You know, it's interesting because as you lay out the history that we know that brought us to World War II. We just talked about the 70th anniversary of Normandy. You had our leadership there, the president there, just a few days ago. When we talk about the history of people pulled from their homes, these were citizens in their own countries, Germany and others. That is decidedly different, as you point out in your op-ed, from what is happening, not to take away anything from the southern border. What's your reaction?
Well, again, I think what we're seeing here is the continuing weaponizing of issues where you get to call the president a Nazi, you get to call ICE officers who are fulfilling the laws that Congress passed to depict them as SS officers. It's a perversion of history. And this is not a multiple choice question about what's the fourth definition in the dictionary. I mean, for God's sakes, if you're a leader, behave like one.
Rabbi Cooper, thank you for your time. And people can find your op-ed on foxnews.com. Thank you for being on the program.